150 years, do something different and stop doing it until those men step up. Because you're essentially saying, oh, Black women, just be a better job at being a father. How does that motivate Black men to stay in the house and raise their own sons?
Exactly.
Can I say this too?
It doesn't, exactly. So it's not a solution. So it's not a solution then.
Before you continue, caller, can we just say this too? A woman can do the best job she possibly can do in raising a boy. And I'm not saying there's no room for mothers to do better or some mothers couldn't do better. I'm not claiming that. But even if a woman brought 10,000% to the table, boys learn how to be men by observing other men. Even if there's no man in the house, they're going to look at the behavior of men that they resonate with, and they're going to emulate that behavior. We can do all the work we can, but we can't develop men. And I think Cynthia has a great point in saying that we could come 10,000% strong as mothers to the table, but ultimately we cannot cultivate them into men. Men have to do that. And so that brings us back to being selective. And I would say you can avoid an abortion altogether if you just never get pregnant by them. Like it's easy enough.
And but say, look at the undue stress that people are putting on Black women who literally hold up Black civilization on their backs. The mere fact that we're suggesting that it's a job that needs to be carried out by women. This huge plight that you're putting on the backs of women, that you're essentially doing what you're doubling down on what Black men have done to Black women all that time. I don't think you even realize that you're literally a co-conspirator at making Black women mules for the Black community. They are all of the women that we can think of throughout the ages and that have given their testimonies and their stories, even the men who have lived the wrong path, and then they come back and they turn around and they talk about, when they did get it right, they all say, my mother did the best that she could do. My mother tried to be a perfect example to me, but I did what I wanted to do anyway. Boys at a certain age, I don't know if you've raised a boy before, but at a certain age, and I would say between 8 and 10 years old, they are looking for the leadership and the patterns of men to follow. They're not following you in the kitchen. They're obviously not following you to the universities. They're not doing that. They're following the men. They're following the street. They're following the culture of men. This is just the reality. And to say that Black women have to do something about it or have to raise them better or be better is just ridiculous.
But see, it's different if you're ranting and saying something and then you're making pre-streams, right? Like, you have content on this like all of the time about black male abortion, and calling for these sorts of topics. This is happening like every day with her. She takes the videos down. And then when you look at the people who support the message, then when something happens to Black women, they're the first ones calling foul. They're the first ones calling foul. But then when she's putting up this stuff, ain't none of those Black female creators or subscribers saying anything. And I'm gonna just tell you this. Your hatred for Black men, it's sad.
Hi guys, I just wanted to come on and to touch on this conversation. It kind of came across my timeline on YouTube today. And I guess he put the video up a day or so ago where he is saying that Cynthia G is still promoting abortion. And the truth of the matter is she's never said that, and I believe I may have been on her live or listening to one of her lives back when she first raised this conversation about how Black women should make a conscious decision to not give birth to Black boys. And I remember the context around it, and what he's saying is not what she was talking about. I feel like he's also accusing her of constantly talking about it, but I don't think that's true. I don't think she's constantly on that topic. Now, she may go into some lives and maybe people, because they're hearing all this buzz about her saying that, what they think she said, they're asking her about it. And so that might bring the conversation back around. But she's not holding lives just to talk about how to abort a black baby. It's absurd what he's saying, and she never said that. I think that he is trying to incite, those anti-abortion people, and there are some in our community as well. I'm talking about the ones who get really upset and crazy. Remember how they used to blow up their abortion clinics and run up on people and all kind of crazy stuff that you would hear in the media. And I think that he is trying to incite that by constantly putting that in his title. I don't recall ever telling anybody or suggesting that people do any such thing. I'm not sure if he's aware of that, and I think he is. Like I said, I really think he is very much aware of what he's doing. But most women won't know the sex of their child until they're several months into their pregnancy, right? So you're not able to get an abortion at that time. So it's, like I said, he's just trying to incite some foolishness and try to be funny about it by trying to pretend like he's making light of the conversation. Because when you really listen to him, he's never really saying much of nothing. So let's talk about that. When he talks during these videos, he's not saying anything. I'm just keeping it real. He's not saying a whole lot of nothing, and he's taking a slight part of the truth and then adding his own version onto those things. And I've said this about him before. He's not using what Cynthia is truly saying in her conversations, because that's not what the conversation was about at all. Even from the small clip that I'm playing here, and I'm only putting it on here so you guys can kind of get what they're talking about and put it in context. And as you can hear, they're not really talking about abortion. They're talking about people taking responsibility for themselves. And they're not only talking about men, but they're talking about women as well. So you can hear that for yourself in the conversation. He is, like I said, just on some fool stuff, per usual. But I don't find it funny that he's using that word in his title to incite people into thinking this woman is promoting something like that. Now, we already had the space goat perp or whatever his name was out here on a tangent. We don't need to have people, especially people outside of our community, coming into this conversation and they don't really know what they're talking about or what we're talking about. So, yeah, he needs to cut it out. And then these women are always quick to report someone. Now, if he wanted to debate her about something, I'm not sure why he just didn't reach out to her and try to join in a live with her and hold a conversation to get to the root of what she really is saying if he's not sure of what she's trying to say. I think even the space person do that with her himself, and I don't know if they ever were able to have a conversation or not, or if she even chooses to entertain him, because that is her choice. She do not have to talk to none of these people if she don't want to. But you can have dialogue about things without lying on folk and trying to make people think that something's going on that's not going on, and that is something that could cause a safety risk for her. And so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. He shouldn't be on here doing stuff like that. Like that, she didn't say anything about abortion. She was saying determine the sex of your child, which there is a procedure where you can do that. Like I said in my other video, to my understanding, it may not be legal here in the States, but it is legal in some other parts of the world. And if it is legal here, like I said before, I'm sure it comes with a fee. So it's not like you're just gonna walk into your doctor's office and say, I want to have a girl. I want to make sure I'm having a girl. So yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video, because I just think what he's doing is not okay in that respect. And not only that, he's gonna get people to start flagging her to make it come off like she's doing that, right? And she's not. So, and you can clearly hear it. If you guys want to hear their entire conversation, I think it's about 2 hours. You can go over to her channel where she is responding to people who are saying that she's telling people to go out and get abortions, to abort their black babies. She did not ever say for black women to abort their black children. She never said that. Or any woman for that, to abort any of their kids. She's never said that. I don't know where he's getting this from. Let me know what you guys think about Oshay Duke Jackson in the comments, and what do you think about what I'm saying, how you feel about the situation in the comments. If you have comments on what Cynthia and the ladies had to say, you can comment on that in the comments as well, or what Oshay had to say, which he said a whole bunch of nothing. You can catch both of their videos on their channels, Oshay Duke Jackson and Cynthia G. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.